Welcome to the in-depth story of one of the most complex and tragic characters in Game of Thrones, Theon Greyjoy. Heir to the Iron Islands, fostered by the Starks, and a man torn between two worlds. His journey from a proud, conflicted young man to a broken soul, and ultimately a hero, is a tale of betrayal, suffering, and redemption. In this video, we'll explore the highs and lows of Theon's life, the choices that defined him, and the legacy he left behind in the world of Westeros. Theon Greyjoy was just a boy when he was taken from his home. The price his father paid for his failed rebellion was the life of his youngest son, who would become a ward of Eddard Stark. For years, Theon lived among the Starks, treated with kindness, but always reminded of his place. Never quite a Stark, never truly a Greyjoy. He trained alongside Robb Stark, becoming his closest friend, almost a brother in every sense but blood. Yet deep down, Theon yearned for the approval of a father who was hundreds of miles away on the windswept Iron Islands. Winterfell was a place of warmth, family, and honor, everything the Iron Islands were not. The Stark words, "Winter is coming," were not just a motto, they were a way of life. In contrast, Theon grew up with the harsh, unforgiving creed of the Ironborn. "We do not sow." This dichotomy of values would define Theon's internal struggle for years to come. Theon was caught between two worlds, raised by one family but bound by blood to another. His identity was in flux, never truly belonging to either house. After years of living in Winterfell, Theon finally returned to the Iron Islands. But the homecoming was not what he had imagined. Balon Greyjoy, his father, was a man hardened by his failures and driven by a desire to reclaim what was lost in his failed rebellion. To Balon, Theon was not a son returning home, but a boy who had grown soft in the company of wolves. The cold reception he received from his father was a stark reminder of the life he had left behind and of the man he was expected to become. Theon's return to Pike was also marked by an uneasy reunion with his sister Yara. She had grown into a formidable leader in his absence, a warrior who had earned her place among the Ironborn. Theon, on the other hand, was seen as an outsider, a Stark in Greyjoy clothing. The harshness of his homeland and the expectations placed upon him began to weigh heavily on Theon, fueling his desperation to prove himself to his father and his people. And that's where we'll pause Theon Greyjoy's incredible journey for now. But his story is far from over. In the next part, we'll dive into the darkest chapter of Theon's life, where he loses everything, his freedom, his identity, and nearly his soul. But it's also where we see the first sparks of his redemption, the beginning of a transformation that will ultimately lead him to his greatest act of courage. So, if you're as captivated by Theon's story as we are, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. You won't want to miss the next chapter, where Theon's struggle for redemption takes him to the very edge of darkness. Stay tuned.